What's good, Relocation Football League fans? It's your boy Smitty, joined here along with Rob Roby, and we are, of course, back here for this week's edition of the RFL Live podcast. As, man, the Relo Bowl is set, and we did predict that there would be a new team in the mix at the beginning of the season. I remember asking the guys,
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Can't hear me? Maybe my let me see if I'm coming through to the Discord.
It says I'm coming through the Discord. Come back in. Let me see.
Probably that. All right. Should be.
Yo,
can you hear me? Hello.
Yo.
Can you hear? Just had this working before we got on, guys. I don't know what happened. You guys know how these PCs are. We'll look to try to get this fixed real quick. I guess that'll give some time for guys to hop in. But, man, we got some stuff to go over. Of course, we're going to be talking about the Relo Bowl and our predictions and just the conference championship games that just passed.
I can't hear Smitty at all, guys. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt, man. I can't hear you at all, bro. It's like you're hold on, let me make sure this is the volume.
Maybe if I do, can you hear me through that? Can you hear me through the Zoom instead?
Yeah, volume's up.
No, you can't hear me through the Zoom.
It's just working, man.
Yeah.
Server settings.
My hair looking crazy, guys. I'm just about to get it done. But it's always looking wild. Go ahead, prop it up, especially with the headphones. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, we so you both sound clear. Yeah, it's clear. It's just that he can't hear me right now. He can't hear anything that I'm saying. So we're looking to try to get that fixed up. But I mean, how you guys feeling after this week? RFL wise, Madden news. We're gonna dive into the Madden news. Yeah, really going to dive into that, give our opinions, and, talk amongst you guys, because not really too much to go over. Of course, you see from the podcast graphic, we are going to reveal the Pro Bowl rosters, which after I've seen it, it's like I guess some guys are going to be confused. But beforehand, I will also say that if a player is injured, that's why they are not able to participate. So the game has already took that into matters. So a guy like Jordy Johnson, who we would feel like more than likely would be there, is not going to be there. That's one announcement I'll make. I'll put out there. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man,
yeah.
The volume on the desktop, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Crazy, bro. Mix had the volume turned down, but all good, man. You'll be our first Bella today. It's all good. But yeah, we're gonna go through these conference championship games. We're going to reveal you guys the Pro Bowl, and then after that, we're going to dive into the news. You guys also see the next topic is about new coaches coming. So I've already been building up some guys that are coming in to coach in the RFL and at the college level, looking to try to make a graphic for that this week and start posting that out. So you'll see the new guys coming in, and then we'll go more into in-depth open questions and everything like that. So let's get straight into it. First, starting off with the first conference championship game, which Rob Roby got to call, and it was the ARC championship between the Cincinnati Hogs and the Dublin Celtic Tigers. And at the end of the day, Justin Jones continues the lineage, and the Celtic Tigers walk out of there with a close defensive war victory over those Hogs, 16-13. What was your takeaways from this game here, Rob? And the Celtic Tigers punching their ticket to their third Relo Bowl appearance.
Oh, we kind of knew that it would happen this way, and I think that the favor obviously was in the hands of the Celtic Tigers, but it was a hard fought game by the Hogs as well. I think that what we saw was just not enough offense for the Hogs. A lot of defense, but not enough offense. And I think that at the end of the day is kind of what decided this game. The Celtic Tigers, just had, they had that edge. They're obviously, more I'm not going to say a much better defense. I'm just going to say that they have a good defense, and they were able to pretty much just keep the Hogs' offensive attack contained. And sometimes it's just kind of about maintaining a little bit. We saw Justin Jones earlier on. I think they were up. Were they up 14? Was it 14 to 0 at some point?
Yeah,
or
13-0. Then the Hogs came back and answered 13 themselves.
Yeah. We kind of saw Jones start to go into a clock management kind of a role, which I think that not. I mean, I'm not sure why the game decides to do that instead of just kind of like turning up things. But this game, in my opinion, it didn't disappoint despite the low level of points there were. I felt that defensively it was a good game for an ARC championship game, and I felt that neither one of these offenses terribly destroyed the other because of the defense, right? So you want to root for the underdog at times, and I even found myself just saying, "Hey, Ronnie's going to get the ball one more time. I'm going to get the ball one more time," But unfortunately, in these kinds of games, you really don't know what's going to happen, who's going to not show up, who's going to show out, right? I can't say enough about obviously Shropshire, but I just think that this game kind of fed more into the hands of CT, who were just looking to, just get out of there, get out of there, get a win, not be upset by the rookie quarterback Jones. Obviously, just a median average day. Both of these guys had average days here. I don't think I remember too much as far as anyone going crazy. I'm trying to remember.
Wasn't really anybody that went crazy offensively.
I'm trying to remember. I think I did see some pressure by Baber. That was looking pretty good. But other than that, CT, man, tough. So we'll see what's going to happen going forward.
Yeah, and my takeaways of this game, defense of the Hogs, if they haven't proved it after those first two playoff games, I mean, they definitely still proved it in this game despite the loss. I mean, to hold the number one offense in the league still to 16 points. The two MVP candidates that we had going into the playoffs, they literally got 3 interceptions each off both those guys. And I think the difference here for the Celtic Tigers was Justin Jones not throwing a single one, but they still had him not throwing a single touchdown pass too. So that is huge for the Celtic for the Hogs to keep them in the game as they did. I mean, it was starting to get bad. It seemed like the Celtic Tigers offense was still going to be explosive no matter how good that defense is or has been, and they quickly shut it down. I mean, literally almost no points given up in the second half, and I'd say it was 3 huge mistakes in this game, man. So for one, a big mistake was the big fumble that Ronnie Shanahan had where he lost. Well, I say the first one before that fumble was when they didn't take the field goal. And Rob, you were in the game saying that. He said, "Hey man, if from them failing that fourth down conversion, this play might come back to hurt them," and it definitely did, in my opinion, because if they had took the 3 points right there, who knows, maybe they win or this goes into OT, right? That was the first big mistake. The second big mistake was they had momentum going, and as soon as the Hogs had the ball, Ronnie Shanahan scrambling out, just had a bad rookie moment, went way in the backfield, got strip sacked, lost the football, obviously, got recovered by the Celtic Tigers. The defense did its job by not giving up a touchdown, even though they had great field position, but it was the 3 points off of that won the Celtic Tigers the game to give them that 16-13 lead. And then the third and final mistake was just the clock management. They had an opportunity to send this game into overtime, and who knows, with the momentum that the Hogs had and the way their defense was playing, they could have won. I think they would have probably been more favored to win had that happened. What happened is they burned a timeout before they were able to run another play, which they should have brought the field goal unit out. They did not. They opted to pass. It was in bounds, and the clock ran out, and that's how they lost the game.
I kind of want to sandwich 2 comments together, one from Dunn and one from Anthony Washington. And I think I understand. I'm not going to say I understand where Dunn is coming from. I can use his comment though to confirm his message about the Hogs were a good story, but they really had no business playing in the Relo Bowl. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree with that, with the fact that Shivers was out. So when you take, the workhorse, out of the offense, of course it's going to struggle. And I think that, surprisingly though, and obviously with catapulted by the defense, right? Uh, they made it pretty darn far, man.
They actually had a good
So
run game without him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what Anthony is saying is he can't wait. He can't wait until they get Shivers back in the situation. And it's I'm not going to say that Haynes. I mean, Haynes did a great job, right? But it's just like I've noticed that when certain players change the game, if that makes any sense, right? So with Shivers out, it seems like it makes it easier to strategize against them. Whereas like if Shivers not is in the game, right? Then teams kind of change up, switch up like what they're doing, maybe what they're sending the personnel and stuff like that. So it would be interesting to see a healthy Shivers. Would Shivers have changed this game? I mean, we never know, right?
You never
So
know. It's hard to say
yeah,
though because of how good the run game still was without him. It's almost
yeah,
as if the offensive line's run blocking was so good this year for the for the River Hogs, for the Hogs now, that these guys almost could have had any back there. But honestly, I think that's a testament to how good those backups were because Jacob Haynes, remember, he was splitting carries with Vincent Valentine, and the way they were getting utilized was perfect for the type of backs they were. And then Haynes, I mean, even in this game, had 15 carries for 69 yards. That is still a good average, And Valentine came in, he did his job. Thing is, they probably didn't run the ball enough still with those backs because I think Valentine only had like 2 carries. So they had less than 20 carries given amongst the backs. But Shanahan was also doing the best he could against that defense. Shropshire came with some big catches and stuff like that. But I just think that the defense, it's hard to say. You would say, especially I know Dunn's take, right? And this is kind of what I was talking about when he was saying Ronnie Shanahan, they should have had a different quarterback. This defense was so good, and I knew it literally from watching how those first 6-0 games went, that it didn't matter about who was at the quarterback position. If I give Ronnie Shanahan this opportunity to play and lead this offense, he'll get better. And he got better at the best time of the season where everything was on the line. He literally lost this game, in my opinion, due to a field goal that should have been kicked not being attempted, right? And honestly, if he was going to the Relo Bowl right now, could we really say that, oh, the Hogs are going to lose it? I couldn't say that, and so like it worked out good. You would think they didn't have any chance of being there, but that's just how good the defense is. We like to talk about how defense wins championship, but my counter argument has always been, why didn't the Hogs win this game? They didn't have the offense. And so you need both. Both are as important, and that's why I really do feel like my take still valid. My take is still valid, bro. If you don't have no offense, bro.
You've just flipped it. You've just flipped it. It's the same thing as someone. Look, the score is 60-13.
Yeah.
So look,
You gotta
the
have some
defense,
offense, bro.
the defense for CT won this game.
No.
Yeah.
You wanna
The
know
defense for CT won this game.
No, the offense
Justin only had.
the offense kind of won it. I'm gonna tell you why. The defense is good. Did his job with that. But at the end of the day, who scored the touchdown to give him that? Who was the only one to score a touchdown?
As a matter of fact, if you look at this, Worsley only had 38 yards. Deerdorf had 66 yards. Mm-hmm. No. No, the defense won this game. The defense
if
wins
that offense did not produce any points, they wouldn't have won, man. See, that's the thing. Everybody always wants to look at the defense did. Look what Don't get me wrong. When you get to the playoffs, you're going to see the best defenses you've seen all season. And honestly, that's the whole reason why the games in the conference championship were as low as they were, right? But that offense is what made the difference. Are we really, like, if we look at these 2 games, right, when we get into the next game, was it more that the offense wasn't getting it going or the defense was that good? Like there was
We just said that
opportunities
both
for
of
the
these offenses weren't great.
yeah.
We just said that.
I wouldn't say like, but the thing in this game, I would say yes. But without any of that production, who wins this game, man? You need an offense. If the Hogs had just a little bit more offense, they would have won. They had the better defense out of everyone right now in the playoffs.
So this is all philosophy, and I love having this circular argument with you because it's like the name of football is to score, but the name of football also is to stop them from scoring. Yeah. So we'll just keep going backwards and forwards. It's circular.
But this is kind of my take. I'm not going to say that offense is everything. My take on that was always you can't really say that the defense is what's more important because it's not. The offense and the defense are equally important.
No, I got you.
That's always been my take. It's not that offense wins game in my book. I'm just saying I never could really 100% give in to defense wins championships. You still need some type of offense in order to get it done.
Well, you are biased because you're a wide receiver, but at this, and I'm a defender, right? Defensive end. But listen, but this is what I was gonna say though, right? I get it, right? I do agree that neither one is more important than the other. I just think that if you have an electric offense, right? Or matter of fact, if you have a mediocre offense and you have an electric defense, right, then you still have a higher chance of making it and winning an actual bowl than if you have, you know, an electric offense and a weak defense, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're not stopping them from scoring, you know.
But it depends on the level of the offense at that point, right? Because if the offense is literally unstoppable, it don't matter how many points you put up. You can still go back and forth with them, but at the end of the day, if the offense is that good and it's better than yours, they're going to put up more points. So that's why it's like it's vice versa. There is no winning in this argument, honestly. It's like literally the only thing is,
but it's still funny. It's comical.
Important, yeah. Shout out to Bill for starting this crap. I don't remember what season
Bill,
it was, but yeah,
somewhere he's shaking his head right now behind the scenes.
Yeah. All right, so. Yeah, the Celtic Tigers going to their third Relo Bowl. It's crazy too because, like I said, the Celtic Tigers have been really building up that lineage because they were in the ARC Championship game last year. It's almost similar to like how the Bulldogs got it, right? Last year, before the Bulldogs won their championship, they got swept by the Celtic Tigers. Third game they played, which we'll get into in this next game, which has never been done. Bulldogs got them back, went on to the ARC Championship, right? And that's how they won in Season 8. And so that's where the Celtic Tigers come off. They just lost their game, and now here they are advancing on, and they're taking on, the team, of course, we're about to get into in the Relo Bowl, going to their third. So this is big, man. Justin Jones already has his Relo Bowl, right? And now he's the guy in the front. But now he's going to have to face this guy who's making his first ever Relo Bowl appearance in Chase McCoy, as they were able to upset the number one Snowhawks, man, and another low-scoring game. And Chase McCoy, man, this is big. A lot of people, it was crazy looking in the comments. A lot of people were saying, like, I would have never thought that the Condors and Chase McCoy is going into the playoffs, right? And I always think back, and I said this, I think, during the stream, from when Jacob Reed got drafted. And I invested in this team defensively because we know the story behind the Condors and why they're terrible, bro.
The guy who you wouldn't take pictures of.
Yeah,
because he wasn't making plays.
He wasn't making the big splash plays, man. You know? But look what
now
happened,
you invested in him.
He took that personal like Michael Jordan, and now look where we at. You know?
Oh, my goodness.
But at the end of the day, it was right there in that moment that I started to really see the shift in the Condors. Because the Condors were still winning some games despite not having a good defense. And this kind of does go into that offense and defensive argument that we're talking about, right? Because they did have the explosive offense. They didn't have the defense, and they were losing. But the thing is, their defense was just that bad. Their defense was literally that bad that they couldn't stop nothing. But it got better and better. And the defense is now, honestly, in my opinion, the strength of this team. And they have an above average offense. So when you have that mix, I think, Uh,
So then if the Condors win this game against CT, then you're going to say defense wins championships.
no, I wouldn't say, but the offense, I wouldn't say that
No,
because
they're the strength of the Condors.
yeah, they're the strength of them, but it doesn't mean
Yeah.
without their offense, without that offense being decent, right? Without that
Yeah,
offense being
yeah.
as good as it is, they're not winning the Relo Bowl. You know what I mean? You
Is
still
that
gotta include
offense?
the offense.
Is that offense average, decent, or elite?
Definitely not average. It's above average.
So it's decent.
Is pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty good. But that's the thing. You can't never say vice versa, right? We can't say,
Yeah.
if we got the elite defense and a trash offense, we're gonna win. No, you can't, because it's the same thing. You say, I got the elite offense but the trash defense. You can't win either way. You're gonna lose because that other side has to contribute in some way, shape, or form. Either way, you look at it. Because even if you did have that elite offense, right, but you had an okay defense, you could win a Relo Bowl over that. Who did that? The Celtic Tigers did that. There's a couple teams in the RFL that's done that, and vice
When
versa.
Kudon went down, man, when he went down, I was worried about.
Oh, Kevin Kudon, and he's all right too. He's actually ruled back to be okay. He's not going to be injured. The Condors are going to be 100% healthy. But back into this game, man. What was your takeaways from this big win, and the biggest win in Condors history, to win their first NRC championship and their first NRC championship appearance?
Yeah.
Against the rivals.
I've said this before. You can check the facts. The Snowhawks are actually my favorite team. It's actually the reason. Like the team that I saw when I first came to the RFL, and I instantly just fell in love with this franchise. I didn't know that it was connected to Mission, everything. Like I genuinely just was like, oh wow, I like this team, man. This is a great team. So I privately, because I can't play the politics like I do in the college series, right? So I there's no way I can root for anybody. So, but I privately actually like the Snowhawks. As an organization, period. And even when Mitch had him, I was very envious with a lot of the things that he would do with them, the draft picks and everything, and got all those linebackers and stuff like that, man. So I was kind of low key rooting for the Snowhawks, especially being that they grounded out so hard, man, on this. And they have some, some stand up members, on the community, right, who are, big names, and we know about Grayson and Peacock and those guys, right? So, man, I wanted them to win, man. But the old head in me and the veteran in me is still tailoring to legacy. I've changed my stance. I used to be that guy when I came in that was like, oh, we just get all these old guys out of here. Smitty, what are you doing? Why do we have a legends list? Trade all these guys, get these guys out of here, bring the new guys in. And I'm starting to realize that while we do have a nice crop of young guys who are really pushing this thing and helping us out, it's the story of the legacy players, man, the legends that we have here. And we can't just erase those storylines, right? Mm-hmm. So McCoy, I'm very excited for, right? Mm-hmm. Because we've seen these games. I remember the Condors were just like the pea mat, just pee on them. You know what I mean? Like they've been that team for a long time, and it's unfortunate how that kind of has trickled down. This is kind of going off of what you just said, where people are like, "Oh, I can't believe the Condors in a million years would be in this," right? That's the name that has been created for them, right? But what we fail to realize sometimes is that just because a team is not popular, right, doesn't mean that it's not good. Yeah. And I think that this Condors team has shocked everyone in the sim. And I think that it's a pretty good team. And I wouldn't doubt for a moment that it won't go toe-to-toe with the Celtic Tigers. We've never seen this, obviously, before because, we never have been in one foul. So you could only have this matchup if we had to recreate the foul, right? Mm-hmm. But now
everything's there.
They carry the momentum in there. They carry the franchise quarterback, Chase McCoy. And if you have not watched Chase McCoy's career, this guy is up there with the Tom Wilsons. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, he's up there. He's a pretty good
top 5 all-time passing yards.
I'm ecstatic. I also like which I'll talk about when I do my breakdown. But I also like Jaguar, Kalkrick,
He snapped in
right?
that game too.
Yeah, Keelan Linton,
Yeah.
like like those guys are. I'm sorry, not Keelan. Jaguar, Kalkrick. Who's the other guy? The tight end. But
Price
that's
Grill.
Kalkrick, right?
It is
Oh, Price
Kalkrick.
Greer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Price
Price
Grill
Greer.
is the backup.
Kalkrick. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Interesting, man. So, it is what it is. No Hawks had a great season. It's just next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Yep. Yep.
honestly, I remember there's two things I want to go back a little bit in memory lane to talk about.
Hmm.
First was I remember guys were saying, and you, it's teams like this that people just sleep on, like you said, because they're not popular. Because if you, a lot of guys just look, oh, they didn't make the, well, you can't even say that because honestly, if you look back the last 3 years, the Condors have been in the playoffs. A lot of people don't remember or sleep on that. Like, but these dudes have been frequently battling and making the playoffs for 3 years now. And they've also have won the West Division. I remember right before we started this this season and we were going over divisions and who we think might win. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is the Snowhawks division. There's no way no other team can compete with them." Yeah, the Snowhawks did end up winning it, but I said then, I said, "Look, man, y'all can't sleep on the Condors. Like this team
Yeah.
is not trash at all."
Um, can I add to that real quick,
Mhm.
Smitty? Because Pat, thank you for this, Pat. I misspoke. Because I could actually say that Chase McCoy is up there with Mackey and Dre,
Yeah,
because you see the stats there. It says fourth in career passing yards, sixth in career touchdown passes. And I think I want to make sure I give him his right, flowers, roses, whatever you want to call it, right?
yeah,
I mean, this is a top quarterback in the league. He just happens to be on a team that's not so popular. Okay, go ahead. My bad.
yeah. But I mean, now you definitely said the right things and hit it on the head with that. And this is a team that, although McCoy is starting to, get towards the tail end of his career, I'll have to check real fast. I don't know his age. I think he's in his 30s. Yeah, he's 31. I remember when this dude got drafted into the RFL. This was a
Yeah.
dude who was on, I don't know if you guys remember Azor Effect. He was a YouTube channel way back with Sim Critic and all those boys. Like literally one of the original Road to Glory uh YouTubers. And Chase McCoy was that dude then. I remember hitting in his DMs and was just like, hey man, I got this league going on. I'm taking custom players. And I'm wondering if you would be interested in submitting your player here. And dude said, all right. And I was like, oh, cool. Put him in the draft. He came out of Tennessee and everything. Always had high hopes for him. I think he made the playoffs his first year. And then like he kind of went on that streak where the defense got really bad, but he still stayed in it. And it's just really good to see that this guy is finally here. Like, it took
Yeah.
8 years for Chase
Yeah.
McCoy to find, like, we knew how good he was, but the team
Mhm.
just could not back up that, and now they finally do it. And they got a chance for him, not only with winning his first NRC championship, but also winning their first Relo Bowl with this guy. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm kind of rooting for the Condors
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
because I mean
Look.
CT's already won one. How great would it
Yeah.
be to have Chase
Yeah. Yeah.
McCoy win
Yeah.
a championship his first time there, man?
Yeah. Yeah. We took a lot of L's this season, and I had a lot of time to process and think about a lot of things, man. And you probably remember, I probably ranted out and I was like, man, with the whole Geno thing, right? I got to start from scratch again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the lesson in that that I've learned, and what's been reinforced in my head, and I kind of want to give this to the younger guys, is that this thing takes time, man.
Yeah.
And that's all it is time. And unfortunately, it either goes your way or it doesn't go your way. But this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity thing. And not to be the Debbie Downer, I don't know how many more seasons of this will actually be. But if this thing gets to 15 seasons, 16 seasons, right? Look, man, it's the time. Enjoy the time and respect the time, right? Because McCoy, you just said eight seasons.
real
Bro.
years.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's older than my age in the league,
Yeah,
right?
technically 9
And I've been
because you
here.
got that break. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you got to respect. Like we do want to make sure that we respect what came before. And I want to empower the younger guys to keep this thing going, man. Hopefully when we retire from this, there's another Smitty, another Mix, another Tour, Bill, said, hopefully there's some new guys who will continue this thing on and make it 40, 50 seasons. It would be amazing, right? But the time is like of the essence here, man. So just enjoy every moment, man. And like again to the Snowhawks, right, bro? Don't hold your head, man. Like take that because you may not see that again for a couple of seasons, bro.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been to an ARC championship game in 4 seasons now.
Yeah, since season 5.
Right?
Yeah. So
right?
and
Yeah.
it's
So
just like real
it's
life.
tough,
It
man.
don't come easy. It really don't.
Yeah.
And especially now with how competitive the league is. And we've been talked about this. I've been said that, and I'm still glad that you said what you said about the CPU teams, because imagine if they weren't getting any.
That's
they
my
would've been
fault,
terrible,
man.
man.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
my
good
fault.
you did that, because now with
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
investment in them, look at how the competition level has gone from this to this. Like, we don't know who's going to be in the playoffs next year. The following years after that, the better that these teams have gotten. I mean, look, the Pioneers just almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, the Dillos made the playoffs with Roland. Like, it was a lot that has just happened, man.
Smitty, I've said a lot of things and had to bite my tongue, right? Most things I say, I mean it. But that's one of the things I wish I would have never said, man. What I'm saying is losing to the AI. I'll never lose to a computer team. I remember that night I told you that, man. And I was just talking, right? I mean, I meant it, but I was just talking. I didn't think it would like affect you in any kind of way. And you've just gone absolutely nuts now, ensuring, right, that the AI team is competitive.
And another
so I wish I would have never said
that. I tell people it's like a lot of guys try to get on me about trades and stuff, but this is the reason why I don't do it.
Well, your trades suck.
I barely do it. I would
your trades have ruined my life in the ARC North, and now your realignment has ruined my life in the ARC North.
Hey,
and it's okay. I'm fine with working. I'm working. I'm working.
Yeah, you're gonna be good this year. You stacked up, bro. Like, we know we're gonna hear a lot about the Cougars this upcoming draft. We probably gonna be hearing them doing the college series this year, man. So like, it's gonna be bad going on. We know what's going on in Chicago, bro. So you got a lot, lot to work with.
Guys is on my neck this year. Next year, we'll see who's on whose neck.
But yeah, man, it's just and just like how you talked about with time. This is what made this team. I took the time to draft the guys, develop them, and now look what they've become. That's for multiple teams, though. Even like, again, we talk about the Pioneers. We talk about those other low-end teams, even the Hogs, right? I still took the time to invest and have Randy Shanahan start and play, right? Because I knew that with that defense, they still had a good shot, gave him a chance of development. That's just year one for him. Dude's going to be what, 22? 22 years old? Or 20? 22 or 23. But I think he stayed another year. That makes a difference, man. You get that experience, your user player, that stuff adds up, and it takes time, which is what some coaches, like you said, it's good advice to put out there that they don't do. They're quick to trade for a dude who, I just drafted him, I ain't doing nothing with him. I look at the potential. I'm like, how old is this guy? Oh, he's 22, 23? Okay, well, I still can wait 2-3 more years for this old guy to still play. And then while that old guy's still playing, I'm developing this dude. I'm putting the focus training in on him. I'm setting him up still for position years down the line. And I think that gets lost with the user coaches. And I think if more user coaches kind of took that approach, of course, it means not trading as much, which I think guys just get too excited. Look what it does to your franchise.
Yeah, that's key. You said that too, because I was in like a pretty good spot when I got the Cougars, right? And it's like, but we obviously we had to manipulate the or edit the ages and stuff like that. It kind of changed my organization from being like that young organization to being a really old organization, but still studs. but I got caught up in like trying to. I don't know what I was thinking, man, but I got caught up in like trying to win now, whatever that means. And I ended up dealing away players that I couldn't afford. But it was my fault because I was like stuck on this old way of thinking, right? Of signing old veterans with decent overalls, thinking, oh, I'm going to just punk the rest of these young teams and everything with, this 83 overall, 31-year-old veteran, right? And I just was doing 1 years. And I didn't really take the draft as serious in my first few seasons. And I've actually talked to Frankie about this, right? Because Frankie was like, Rob, I'm glad you're finally, you see it now, and you can, maybe start working with your line and everything, getting them prepared for a good run. And so I'm just now, and like I'm not perfect at all. Everyone knows that, right? But I'm just now seeing like my flaws, but I'm also seeing some of the things that we did to kind of to put the Cougars back in a better situation financially. I'm starting to see that pay off, right? And so like we're like right there, man. We've lost a lot, but I just wanted to add that to the fact that this is a long game, man. And I mean, shout out to the Dillos. I mean, Roland's did a great job with trying to get those guys into a position real quick, but it comes at a cost.
He gave up a lot to do that, man.
Yeah,
and like
Talking about the Gunners, did the same thing.
Second round.
Oh man,
and like for one, look at how the season changed around for them, right? I'm gonna be honest. I love what happened here, but do I see something like that happening with them again? I really don't. And especially in that division, like he's not just in any division here, bro. He's in a division with straight coaches. So if you think Coach Baker, Frankie, or why am I blanking on the other one? Or Tor,
Davis. Tor
is going to slack up, especially if they're talking about potentially having custom books. Which we'll get into in the Madden news. Like that doesn't happen often, I think, man.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, because you mentioned the custom books, and a lot of people don't realize either that Tor is very good with the scheming, like playbooks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of have wanted that. He's just an old head. He's been here one of the longest beside Chrome, so I've kind of like wanting that for him too, to see what he's going to be able to do with a playbook that he can customize, right? And then obviously his assistant there is saying that he's he likes customs as well. So there's a lot, man. It hasn't a lot of stories, man, that haven't opened up yet that I'm just kind of waiting to see. But I'm glad you mentioned that custom thing there, because that changes the whole game. Even Davis, like guys, I brought Davis here. Davis and I used to play on the sticks. I used to see Davis take like the Washington Redskins, like back at like 10 years ago, right? And have a custom playbook and go crazy on people with these beast teams and everything, right? I saw him do that and build a team through the draft and everything. So he's also another one that's going to be very dangerous if they even give us an inkling of customizing, which I'm excited because they say you can customize the zones and everything. Now that's crazy.
We definitely gonna get more into it when we get to that segment. But the Condors getting the victory, 17-13. I know we didn't talk too much about this game, but I guess the gist of what I could say is I would say Joseph Gidley, in the moment, he didn't throw any turnovers, but he just did not make the big plays, man. And honestly, you can't just solely put it on him. The two biggest mistakes that the Snowhawks made in this game was giving up those 2 touchdowns. The first one, when they had him in a 3rd and long, literally left Devin Dean wide open, threw a touchdown pass to him. You take that play away, Snowhawks win this game. And that was literally because of a broken coverage, which we'll get into that because that's more on Madden News on broken coverages. Hopefully they fix all that. But that was very costly. It gave them the early lead 7-3. And then it was a mismatch, really, a safety on Clark Jaguar. He ran a flag route, caught the ball, and he literally dusted the entire defense when they went man-to-man, touchdown, untouched. And those were the 2 scores that won the Condors really this game. And Gidley really couldn't get it going because the strength of this Condors defense was their pass game. They were second best pass defense in the league. And that's saying a lot because the first pass defense in the league were the Miners, right? And so we saw the Miners have a pretty close game with the Celtic Tigers in the divisional round, right? And even though Justin Jones was still lighting it up, if you got that type of defense, we've seen even with them playing the Hogs, you can slow them down. But it's about how will your offense be able to take advantage of that? Can they put up more points and win the game? That's a lot easier said than done. So that's it with the game recaps right there. Chase McCoy did a great job, took care of the football, 323 passing yards. The receivers came up making big plays. Dean was making clutch catches. I mean, everything was just working out. And now this is what we got, guys. The Relo Bowl between the Celtic Tigers and the Condors. I'm going to just start right here, Rob. Who you got winning the Relo Bowl this year?
All right. Well, who I have winning is, let me go to my sheet here. Okay, so I have this game in favor of the Dublin Celtic Tigers, 27-24. So stamp that. Ooh. I stand on that, right? Like 27-24. Yep. All right, so the stage is set for a thrilling Relo Bowl here, clash between the Dublin Celtic Tigers and the San Jose Condors. Both of these teams have fought their way through tough schedules and now stand one win away from that glory, man. So let's break down this matchup real quick. Both of these teams, Smitty, are very closely compared. If you look at the records, Celtic Tigers were 12-5, and the Condors were 11-6. Both sporting an 86 overall rating here. They both obviously are the champions of their conferences here. Both run an offensive vertical zone run, and both like to use the 34 defense, with the Celtic Tigers being a little bit more, I guess you could say, aggressive here with the blitzes and stuff like that. Looking at the statistical comparisons, though, man, boy, it is all Dublin, usually by at least a few points here and there. So points per game, it's going to be Dublin 28, San Jose 23. If we're looking at total yards, it's Dublin, 6,323 yards to San Jose's 5,654. If we're looking at passing yards, it's going to be 4,986 passing yards for Dublin versus 4,358 for San Jose. If you look at the rushing side of things, it's 1,337 rushing yards for Dublin and 1,296 for San Jose. If you look at the points allowed, Dublin giving up 21 points per game. San Jose giving up that number 17, which we've been talking about for the past couple of games with the Condors, man. So we'll see. They win that favor there over that one. If we're talking about yards allowed, Dublin has given up just about 11 more yards with 5,085 versus 5,076. Is that 9? Not yet. 9 more yards. And then we're looking at the passing yards allowed here. Dublin has given up 3,597 passing yards as a defense, while San Jose has given up 3,512. So that's why I will say both of these teams are, pretty much evenly matched here. As far as stats go, while the edge is going to Dublin, it's not by much, right? And then if we're looking at the rushing yards here, it's 1,488 total rushing yards for Dublin and 1,564 for San Jose. And we both know that both of these quarterbacks can get out of there when they need to. We do know, though, that both thrive under pressure, man. So that's one of the keys that I'm going to talk about in just a moment here. As far as offense goes, right, my insights are going to be Dublin needs to boast. They have a pretty good explosive offense, so they need to make sure that they put up big-time points in this game if they want to beat Chase McCoy. I don't think that they're going to be able to scrape by with just, 16 points here. They need to also make sure that they turn their rushing up. They need to get Worsley going in this one. San Jose is slightly more conservative, but they are still very, very dangerous. And I think that with a balanced attack and a strong vertical run game, right, that they probably can skate by Dublin. We'll see when those later quarters come in, if they can keep the back going here. Defensively, San Jose has the edge a bit here. Again, only 17 points per game they're allowing. And then at the same time, they're also allowing fewer total yards per game here. Dublin's defense, we know, though, man, it's solid. They got that disguise going on here. They attack you from different parts of the defensive line here. It's a battle-tested defense here. And I think that if they can get after McCoy in this game and then keep Justin Jones throwing passes and keeping that offense going, I think that Dublin can put up some big points here.
One thing I do want to throw in there, Condors will be 100% healthy. There are two key injuries that the Celtic Tigers have. It's kind of like they lost a defensive player, got one back. Michael Afriye will be back for the Relo Bowl, right, which is great. But they lose their edge rusher and the rookie out of Miami and Louis Quinton. which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
big for, the pass
yeah.
rush that they need.
Mhm.
So, that could play a big factor. And of course, they don't got Chandler back. But the thing about Chandler back, I'm not going to lie, his backup's been playing really good. Skeggy Thrash has been a big time playmaker. So that's going to be interesting to key in on during this Relo Bowl championship.
Yeah, yeah. So again, I mentioned both teams run the vertical zone run offense, so expect big plays and creative run pass options on defense. The disguise 34 does create a lot of confusion. So doubling, they're running that disguise. I think that's what they're going to use going into the game. But you're facing a veteran quarterback with a high awareness, so I'm not sure how much McCoy will be fooled by this doubling attack. We'll just have to see. And then we know that the base 34, it's just a base 34 for the Condors, and it's consistent. It can be very, very reliable, but it can show vulnerability against the run. So will Worsley have a career day or something like that? I mean, that would be nice to see Worsley, shine out. And, no Drake Crowell. It's a Justin Jones era, right? As far as the other big factors here is going to be quarterback play. I have here both teams because they rely on the passing attack. I think that whatever quarterback handles the pressure better, which I mentioned a minute ago, whatever quarterback handles that pressure better, they could pretty much tip the scales in this game. So, if McCoy is coming in there, he's lights out. It could be a big day for the Condors. Or if Jones comes in there, he's lights out, not feeling the pressure. It could be a big day. Turnovers.
Kind of broke up.
With both of these strong defenses here, I think a single turnover could possibly win this game. And did I cut out? I'm good.
Okay, you're back.
Okay.
You're good now.
And then so I said both of them have good, strong defenses. A single turnover could be the difference in this game here. And then I'm going to highlight this in green, man. I put special teams, man. That often gets overlooked here. But in these close matchups, as we've been seeing, look, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Now.
Okay, so special teams is often overlooked in the league, and because we've been seeing close matchups here, I think that field position and kicking is going to matter in this game as well. So turnovers, quarterback play, and special teams are going to be the big deal in this game here. I think this is an even matchup here. That's why I've got it so close, 27-24, and that's my take. Standing on that.
Yeah. I honestly, I said this. I said if both of those number one seeds were able to make the Relo Bowl again, that was going to be, you really can't decide, right? But I said that if one of them didn't make it and they had to face the other, the only one that was going to give us, in my opinion, a good game where, it would be this competitive was this matchup. And with this being the matchup now, I have to just go with the number one seed. But I think that with the defense and how things have been able to slow down the Celtic Tigers, the last couple of games with good defensive teams and the Condors being very similar to those teams defensively, that's going to be interesting, man. That's going to be very interesting because now the Condors' main focus needs to be, okay, what are we going to do on offense to win the game? If they can keep the Celtic Tigers to 20 or less points, honestly, less than 20 would be very ideal, then they have a really good chance to win this game. And the offense will have to be productive. If they are not productive, then they will not win this game. And so that right there is a lot easier said than done. And because I've seen the last couple of games, the Condors have only been able to muster up 17 points. That's where I'm a little bit concerned, right? As far as the Celtic Tigers, we know what they're able to do even against really good defenses. So that's where I feel like the Celtic Tigers have a really good shot, more so percentage-wise than the Condors do to win this game. So I'm going to go with the Celtic Tigers. And if I had to give a spread, like you said, 3-point spread, man, 2.5, because that's literally how, even in my opinion, I feel this game kind of is. But it's just a slight favor towards a team that has been here before. And not only just been here before, it's just the consistency they've had throughout this season has been really good. And so can they finish it out? Can Justin Jones win his second Relo Bowl to be the second quarterback in RFL history to ever do that besides Timmy Merritt? And there's a chance, man. There's definitely a chance. So I'm gonna go with the Celtic Tigers in this one. With that being said, we're now let me put the title back up. But we are now going to move on to the Pro Bowl roster reveal. All right. So I got
Oh, they don't have the game. You can't play the game.
No,
the
I
Pro
got
Bowl
the
game.
no, they don't. But what happened
Oh
is I'm gonna
man.
talk more about it because yeah, that would have been dope. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it. But here we go. Pro Bowl has been decided. I was a little bit on a couple of these choices, was like, man, but then I forgot some dudes did get injured, so they can't play in it. So they took that like that. And there is a certain somebody who we're gonna get to right now who's not into it, which is crazy. But here we go. Quarterbacks for this, the MVP is not in it. So no
Wow.
Geno Gannon. They have for the ARC Anthony Savoy, the first team, with Chum Lee at 2 and Devin Wade at 3. And oh man, wow. League has been due to inactivity. I literally just moved and got to the Pro Bowl roster. How is there no activity? And let's go ahead and load this back up. But yeah. And what I will do is I think that is crazy, man, because Geno Gannon, I don't see how they would put Chum Lee over Geno Gannon in that game, man. Like I don't know. But you know, it is what it is. Dude's gonna take home the MVP, I guess, but no Geno Gannon in the Pro Bowl.
That's crazy.
What's your thoughts on that, man? Like, I mean, you did just say that's crazy. That's probably all you can say, but like, I don't know what else you can say, I guess.
Yeah.
Chat, what do you guys think about
man.
that? Geno Gannon not in the Pro Bowl.
That's pretty bad, man. Somewhere Roland is having a party right now for that.
That was
that's
wild.
crazy though,
and
man.
It was like
that's madness.
And I'm looking at the quarterbacks. I'm like, first of all, he had the most touchdown passes out of any quarterback this season, and only threw 9 picks.
Yeah.
So how he threw more touchdown passes and less interceptions than Chum Lee and didn't make it. So that's weird.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But we're about to get to it right now, and I'm gonna go a little bit more into that take though, because we already know how we have to do the Pro Bowl game. So just so guys know, the Pro Bowl game, we're gonna have one, and the uniforms have already been made. My guy Michael King, I was working with him a little bit, and you know, I just let him, you know, take a shot at designing them, and what he came up with was pretty good. So we're gonna go with those for the ARC for the conference. I keep saying the Pro Bowl, and with that though, we have to be on one side, which means one quarterback is not going to be able to play. So from looking at this, Jordan Granger is the third team quarterback for NRC. I think we need to let him play. So it'll be Devin Wade who won't be able to play for the ARC, unfortunately, since he's the third quarterback. I noticed also, Rob, that the roster is much smaller. You usually had up to 6 receivers. They got less receivers, so this roster is going to be very small for the Pro Bowl. But this is what we have to work with. So first team quarterbacks, Washington for NRC, Savoy, ARC. Second team, Joseph Gidley, Chum Lee. So that will be so the way we do it is the first team will play the first half, and then the second team quarterbacks will play the third quarter. Third team quarterback will play the fourth and final.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this though, because this is obviously a snafu with Geno being out. Should you put Wade in over Chum Lee?
Not if the game has him as the second. I mean, it's hard because I'm just like, I don't understand it, but he did also lead the league in passing yards and was 1 touchdown.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's true. That's
so
true.
Like he definitely was up there. So it's just, I can't take that away from him. And usually in these situations anyway, I just go with the game. So there is no, you know, it is what it is type deal. So yeah, Chum Lee will be able to play. He's going to play the entire
wait a second. Wait a second. Aren't we? So this is going to be rebuilt, the roster.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to start working on this.
So why don't you just build? You don't want to just build Geno into it?
Nah, because I mean he didn't make the team and he's not going to play anyway because
So you
ARC.
don't think this is a glitch? You think this is
Nah,
a
I don't think. I
calculation thing?
think it's I think it's a
Oh,
calculation
okay.
thing.
Yeah. No, I was under the impression that EA has had a glitch here, and so this is
Oh yeah, nah.
well,
I
okay,
don't.
never mind then.
It didn't
Fine.
like to me. I wouldn't have chose Chum Lee, but
Yeah.
I can't say I don't see a little bit of the reason why they did, but I would have at least had him over Devin Wade. But then again,
Yeah.
Devin
Yeah.
Wade threw less picks, but
Yeah.
only by 2. So I don't understand it. But either way, only 2 quarterbacks going to have to play for the ARC anyway. So it's going to be
Yeah.
Savoy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Chumley. All 3 will
Gotcha.
play for the NRC. First team running back got Jacob McDonald of the Snowhawks and Kingston Kinney, running back of the year for from the Aviators. Backup running backs Tavion Hall for the Desperados at running back 2, and then Matt Wheaton for running back 2 in the ARC. I think they only have they do have 3 running backs. So Madison Axel will be a third team from the Diablos for NRC, and Levi Dixon makes it as the third running back for the ARC. And of course, his average was terrible as a running back and everything, but honestly, his all-around purpose yards, this guy was close to 2,000 all-purpose yards running and pass receiving. I mean, so makes sense. He made the roster in his second year. That's great. Fullbacks, this is a difference because they used to actually have first and second team fullbacks in the Pro Bowl. Good thing they only have one. So Bruce, I forgot his first name, and Flanagan, I forgot his too. Fullbacks just not getting no love in the league, man.
Trip Bruce.
Yeah, Trip Bruce. That's what he was. Now, was he on the Lancers? No, not the
Yeah, it was
Lancers
on the
anymore.
Lancers.
Lumberjacks. Yeah, Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Flanagan, I can't
Yeah.
remember where he's from. I think he used to be on the was it Red
Riverhog.
Dragons?
Flanagan. Was it no
Flanagan.
Flanagan? I don't remember.
Might be
Flanagan.
partner. I'm not sure. We're throwing out a bunch of names out there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
next up we got the receivers, and of course, oh hold up, they got Jordy Johnson playing, man.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so Jordy Johnson is going to play in the Pro Bowl. At first, I don't know why I got him confused with Joe Johnson.
There is a saying that you should check Gino's something to see if it's on his. It must be somewhere in his.
Oh, you cut out. You said
It'll say that they made the Pro Bowl, but it won't visually say it. But he might be in the game when you started, I guess. So I don't know where you. I guess you look at like his accomplishments or something like that.
yeah, you look at the
progression,
yeah,
week
the
18.
progression
Yeah.
thing. I don't think
Yeah.
I seen that for him though. So he didn't. I don't think he made it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll figure that all out. But DeAndre Can, NRC, first team receiver, Jordy Johnson, ARC. Second team out there, we got Roland Woods. Okay, second team guy with Keith Guyton of the Huskies. So Shamrocks Huskies right there. Wide receiver 3, CJ Robinson of the Explorers making the Pro Bowl, and Dariantre McAvelli of the Bulls getting there. And like I said, they usually have 6 receivers, but for some reason on this Pro Bowl, they've cut it down a lot. So it's only 4 receivers that make it. And Romeo Jackson has made the final cut along with Cam Jones. Next up, we have the tight ends. And tight end 1, this is crazy how old this guy is, but how good he is. He literally Dexter Roy's a monster, yeah.
Monarch.
A monster playing with the Monarchs. I think what he had like 1,300 receiving yards this year, which is crazy on a team that went 6-11. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But first team for the ARC is Luis Luciano, and he's from the Armadillos. Second team tight ends, we got Steamers Eric Reese, and for the ARC we have the Black Knights Mike Strongley coming in there. I don't know if we got 3 tight ends, do we? No, we only got 2 tight ends that make the cut for these Pro Bowls, so they're just staying in and swapping. Offensive linemen. Of course, these guys have been the best offensive linemen in the league for so many years and still 99 overalls since literally season 1 and season 2. Deion Gunn for the NRC, DeMarcus DeGreat for the ARC. From the Red Dragons, the other one from the Crusaders. I'm hoping this didn't just go off of overalls, man, because I don't know.
Oof.
Yeah, that would suck.
Oof.
But it is what it is, because we can't really do all that deep diving in for the linemen. It is what it is. We've been doing it anyway.
Well, Gino's a higher overall than both Chum and
well, I mean for linemen, because usually they take offensive linemen and do that stuff. But
gotcha.
I think that's Hayden from the Sentinels, who's going to be left tackle 2. William Milne from, I think, the Huskies. Yep, left
Yeah,
tackle 2.
Milne. Yeah,
Then we have left guard.
Jake Cowser.
First team, we got Kevin Bruce. I think he's with the Diablos. I suck with offensive linemen, guys, so a lot of I thinks is about to come up here. Jake Cowser, I know, well, he used to be with the Gunners, but is he still with them? I think he got traded for. But we know who he is. Left guard 2, you got Aiden Mahill. I think he's with the Dreadnoughts. And Sims, he might be with the Red Dragons, if I'm not mistaken. Second team left guard. All right.
I don't know the other lineman.
Yeah, first team center. We got Pat McNeil. Pat. Hashtag Pat in the chat. Made
Salute
the Pro
to Pat.
Bowl.
Okay, Pat.
Glenn
Pro Bowl.
Devine.
Okay.
How about that? The OG
Celtic Tigers.
Celtic Tiger. He's not with the Celtic Tigers anymore. I think he got picked up by the was it the Miners? I think so. But yeah, Glenn Devine is still there at the first team. I think they just went off of overalls by the position, man. Just based off of this. I don't think a lot of these linemen did not perform that well, in my opinion. But Case Kern of the Snowhawks gets second team center. The Voyagers, I think it's Caller, gets second team as well for ARC. And we move on to the right guard position. We got Harden. Blair Harden, I believe that is. Don't remember what team. I think that might be the Snowhawks. Archibald, I know he's with the Dreadnoughts. First team right guard there for the ARC. Second team, Breon Keith. I know he's with the Desperados. And D. Royster is with the Aviators, I believe. They're on second team right guard. We got 2 more linemen to go through, guys. Zach Kowalski. First team. Now, I don't know what team. That might be
Diablos.
Okay.
I checked him to the Diablos,
Yeah, Diablos. Then we have Golson. I think that's the Bulls, right? Don't remember the first name, but he's first team.
Golson, is that Bulls?
I'm thinking it's the Bulls. Pat, we need you. But the last offensive lineman, Zach Ballantyne, he's with the Lumberjacks. And then you got, I don't remember the
Seth
S,
Royal.
but yes, Royal.
I think it's Seth.
He's with the Aviators. I know that. Again, apologies to the offensive linemen guys out there, but our offensive linemen get disrespected year to year with this stuff all the time. So now we move on to the defensive line of the Pro Bowl rosters. And for the NRC at left end, we got Timothy Statton. What a bounce back season for him, man. Like, at one point, he was one of the shining stars at defensive end. Then he just went dark for a couple years. He got traded away from the Diablos. And now he's right back here as first team defensive end representing the NRC. He's with the Gunners. Isaiah Ingram getting traded over from the NRC. Now he's over here in the ARC and automatically in for defensive end and was the defensive lineman of the year. So that's big.
Nice.
Second tier, second team defensive ends. We got Chris George. That's two Gunner DNs right there, which is crazy. 2 Gunners DNs representing the NRC. Of course, Kevin Kudon would have more than likely been on this, but obviously he's playing in the Relo Bowl, so that's not going to register. Then we have Jason Henderson of the Voyagers making the list there at defensive end 2, left side. Right side, we got Cole Bacon from the Crusaders. And how about that? Your boy Austin Sanders, first team DN.
Let's go, Austin.
Representing the ARC. Cougars.
I make a graphic for you, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go, Austin.
First team guy right there. Back up.
What's up, man?
Right ends, we got Tyrone Johnson. He's with the Elks. And Drew Brewer still making the cut here with the Bulldogs, man. So still a great season there for Drew. Let's get hashtag Drew. Let's get hashtag Sanders in the chat. We still got some user guys still out here making the cut. Now we get the D tackles. How about this? Another user guy, Nashan Richardson, first team defensive tackle for the NRC.
Okay, boy.
We got Carson Stevenson with the Hogs making it as well for that conference. Second team defensive tackle. We got Zach Pritchett. I think he's with the Marshals, if I'm not mistaken.
Diablos, right?
Hodge will probably know is
Zach Pritchett. Oh, I'm thinking of
yeah, you
Griffin
think about the
Pritchett.
quarterback.
Never mind. Yeah.
the
Never mind.
tight
Never
end,
mind.
yeah.
Never mind. Yeah.
Pritchett, yeah. So Hodge already yelling Pritchett, so yeah, that's his guy. Max Moore, defensive tackle of the Black Knights. Second team, I think we got third team D tackles. Yeah, we do. Jonathan Gage, the old vet, still out here snapping for the Desperados, just making a cut, and then Stanley McQuiston for the Dreadnoughts. So next up, we got the outside linebackers. And the first team left outside linebacker, obviously Marvin Woolfolk. He won defensive player of the year and linebacker of the year. So this guy is ageless, man. Bobby Boucher of the Red Dragons, representing first team left outside linebacker for the ARC. Backup left outside linebackers, we got Dre Dawkins of the Diablos, so getting two guys in the same position there. And then Nolan Angelo of the Dreadnoughts representing the ARC there as backup. Middle linebacker, we have Tyler Cage, first team NRC. I think this is the second year he's done it, and I think he also broke the record for the most tackles in a single season. This dude had over 200 and something, which is crazy.
Wow.
And Shane Masters of the Bulldogs making first team for the ARC. Backup middle linebackers, Taylor Mays of the Steamers. He was having an absolute phenomenal season. How about this? Dion Bowe making it as the second MLB from the Hogs. So big time there. Outside linebacker from the right side, we have Tim Pennington of the Lumberjacks, which is crazy because this guy was missing for at least 5 to 6 games of the season and still came back and made an impact. Got first team right outside linebacker. And of course, the linebacker of the year for the ARC, and I think defensive player of the year too, with Jesse Newhouser from the Pioneers making that first team. Back up, we have Jiren Gray, that's how you say it, from the Thunderbirds making the cut. This is kind of crazy, man. No Daniel Severio, but honestly, when you look at those guys, Daniel Severio did not play his outside linebacker. He kind of switched back in and was dominating middle linebacker, but he just didn't, because he didn't have the position. I think that's why he didn't make it. So Jiren Gray had the stats, took that from him, but hey, Thunderbird still representing. He was close though, man. And Killian Bain making the last linebacker cut, the second linebacker to close out the Pro Bowl here for the Miners. That's huge right there. Now we get into defensive backs at cornerback one. Of course, the cornerback who had now this threw me off here, Rob. This kind of tells me they didn't just go off the interception.
Where's Keone at, man?
Yeah,
where's Keone at, man?
This kind of threw me off, and the reason why is because usually they go off of picks, which I kind of like it though, because this I think incorporated every statistic that was important for a D back. So Sheldon Reinhardt did more than just get picks. He led the league, and then he also made a lot of big plays too. So he's first team cornerback for NRC, representing from the Diablos. And first team for the ARC is Carlton Baines, which I'm not gonna lie, bro. This dude was balling. He was balling, man. He may not have had the picks that Keone had, but Baines made a huge difference with the Dillos this year, man. And,
my goodness.
So we'll go to the second
team.
This
is crazy,
other
man.
Cornerback out there.
My goodness. This is cap, man.
And the NRC.
All right, Loso. Salute to Loso, man. But I don't know about Cager, man. Get out of here. This is cap, bro.
Second team. So he'll be out
How do
there
you win
starting.
defensive? How do you win DB of the year, but don't get into the Pro Bowl?
Well, this is the thing about the DB of the year, which is why they got to change that. They go straight off of who had the most picks, not everything else. And Keone did still have a great year, though, on top of that.
Wait, he didn't have the most picks?
No, he had the most picks in the ARC, which is why they gave him the defensive.
The whole game. I see what you're saying. Got you.
Yeah, but honestly, if you go back and look at the film of those first two guys in the ARC, those dudes were definitely going crazy.
But why is Cager over him, though?
Cager was going crazy, even though he was a very low overall rated cornerback from the Black Knights.
Lies.
Dude did go crazy.
Lies.
He was going crazy. But that from the Black Knights,
crazy,
and
man.
Lito Loso from the Marshals getting in there in the Pro Bowl. Third team, though. There goes your boy.
There he is. Okay, hey, we'll take it. We'll take it.
And he's closing out for the ARC too, so that's great.
Yeah.
So Keone Jones making it there for the ARC from the
Very
Cougars. Damian
right.
Fox from the Desperados makes it for the NRC. And then the last cornerback position for the Pro Bowl is
What? No ESJ? That's crazy.
no ESJ, man.
That is
Yeah, no
crazy. That's fraudulent,
ESJ.
man.
We
They gonna put
got
Frank Belton.
Belton. And he was,
Oh
it's
my
hard,
goodness.
bro. It's crazy to say this, but bro, I vividly remember all of these dudes right now making a ton of crazy plays, though. So it's like I can't
I
even
had
take
Frank
this from
Belton
him.
for a while, man. Is he on not the
He's
Desperados,
with
but
the Aviators.
the Dread? Oh, he's with the Aviators.
Yeah.
So he went from the Cougars to the Dreadnoughts to the Aviators. That's crazy.
Yeah. And
Wow.
dude at a 73 overall was killing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I am
I like
shocked.
Belton. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that I kind of feel like ESJ didn't make it though because he wasn't really tried. A lot of teams did not try him at all like that this season, and when they did, he had a nice little like drop pick or a pick. You know what I mean? Like
I
he was strapping, but he really did not get targeted much to do that. To do that,
Yeah.
and then Cameron Ross. I'm trying to blank on what team he is. I think that's the Elks. Cornerback. But all those dudes, I'm not gonna lie, they did a lot more than just get picks. They got sacks, they had deflections, they were all over the field, not gonna lie. So can't take it away from these dudes. You know, it is what it is. I think that's it for cornerbacks, and I think we're moving on to free safeties. So free safeties, we have first team Cito Torres from the Marshals representing the NRC first team, and for the ARC, the Armadillos traded for Hayden Harold. So that's going to be the first team right there. Their backups are Michael King. Shout out to MK making the Pro Bowl for the NRC from the Shamrocks. And then Derek Oliveros from the Miners closing out. So those are some good picks right there. Strong safeties. Who do we have? We have Darius Young from the Explorers representing the NRC. He was balling this year too. First team there. And Ike Page from the Bulldogs making it there. And he was balling. I'm going to be honest, man. These guys who made it, I can't. Like, you would like to hear other names, but they were really eating, bro. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Second team strong safeties is JT Casey.
Yeah, BB.
JT Casey made it for the Elks, man. Ohead Smith doing it, and the rookie Brian Brown of the Cougars.
Man.
He was balling.
Bruh, I'm telling y'all right now, man. Brian Brown is an absolute problem, and I'm not looking to release him or draft anybody over him. I want him to develop, man. He's going to be a stud, bro.
Yeah.
And look, with Chappelle, bro, these guys hit hard, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, Brian Brown. I definitely say he deserved it too, because
salute to Miami too, man. Palm trees in the chat, please.
Thank you,
Miami gods,
field, man,
for making him a Cougar.
And so that's it for the skill positions. We're now going to get to the kickers, which I know most don't really care about. But Trey O'Connor, I believe he's with the Sentinels. Well, no, he can't be because that's NRC. That's the Explorers. So the Explorers kicker right there, Trey O'Connor makes it. And, of course, the kicker of the year for the ARC with the Armadillos, Case McCoy, his first team. I don't think, there's no second team with this either. So kicker's just kicker. So first, and the punter is going to be Palmer. I think he is, where's Palmer from? I think he's with the Snowhawks for the NRC, if I'm not mistaken. And Overton, not going to lie, I'm blanking on the team he's on. Might be the Bulldogs, but you can look all that up on Neon Sports. And this next list right here, honestly, is just inaccurate. We always have to choose the kick and punt return guys of the year because this is just never accurate. I would go off of who had the best average and that's return majority kicks and who scored a touchdown. Now, Matthew Horn, he did return a touchdown. So he might stay. The rest of these guys, though, I really don't know. We could probably look into that right now since we're in the game. So let's go ahead and do that. There's no scores to be revealed or anything. But if we go into the statistics and everything right now, and we look at kick return, amongst the league. Let's see who had the touchdowns. So, kick return, Kayshawn Taylor had a touchdown, 800 yards. Matthew Horn, yeah, see, I might keep Matthew Horn on here because he actually had one of the higher averages, and he took one to the crib. So Matthew Horn for the ARC, I think I'm gonna do that. Latarius Batiste had a return too and 1,000 yards. I think I would take who had the best average, right? The yards I probably wouldn't do because if you're looking at this, for the NRC, it looks like Kayshawn Taylor should be the kick return guy. Because, yeah, he had the best average out of everyone that scored a touchdown. He may not have had the yards.
Wait, sort that right quick.
With the yards or the average?
Yeah, no, the average.
Yeah, and he's right here. Only guy who had a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much organized by touchdown because he's the only guy who scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Now, AG3 did have a return, but he did not have a better average than in Matthew Horn. Man, this is tough.
User? Wait, are they both users?
Nah, only he's a user. What I think I might do, let's credit Matthew Horn for being a Pro Bowler. But since they're both on the same team, and AG3 is a user, and he actually had a pretty good defensive back season.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw AG3 in there to represent for.
Okay, AG3, yes sir.
Yeah. So you'll be out there returning kicks, my boy. So that's the kick returner right there. And if we don't have a punt returner, really, because I don't think many have scored. I don't think, but one person maybe scored on punt return. We might have both of these guys be in the Pro Bowl for kick and punt. So
okay.
So we got our kick returner and our punt returner for we had one return right here, and he had a.
So you probably can like stack them on top of each other. So put
yeah, I think
Horn,
we got our
one
guys.
And then
we definitely got our guys because
got you.
So AG3 and Matthew Horn is going to be the kick and punt returners for the ARC, and for the NRC we're going to have Kayshawn Taylor and Cecil Austin III. Austin III will be returning the punts. Kayshawn will be returning the kicks.
Okay.
So,
man, too bad your computer wilding, man. No duel, man.
I know, right?
Ain't no way we could do it with this, bro.
I think I'm gonna get you to download this team or whatever, right? And we can work on it. And then
you mean build it? The building wise?
Yeah, because we can attack. I think we're gonna just attack that because we got to get that done this week. And then since you can't call the Relo Bowl with me, you'll call the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Like you could do that on the weekend, and then I'll just
call
championship.
Cool. When is the Pro Bowl now?
The Pro Bowl, I'm trying to have it on either Saturday or Sunday, whichever one you want to do.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So no, it's fine. So this week I'm doing the So man, did I tell you I'm doing the AP reading for all the I'm doing the AP reading for the country, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know what my hours are gonna be. But I'm gonna be doing that from I don't know 8 in the morning till whenever. So I should be good after after 5 p.m. and stuff like that. So
cool. All right.
Yeah.
So that's good then. And then also with that, I forgot what I was about to say, but yeah, I think we should be good there because that's what I'm gonna be out. I'm going back to Delaware for a situation. So I will be gone from Friday all the way through Sunday. So good thing we can have you there to call that game, and we can get that.
So we got to get the wait. So you want to have this upcoming next weekend, the 14th or the 15th?
Yeah,
you try to have it the 14th or the 15th.
Yeah. Well, what is it? This week is we got to have the Pro Bowl. Yeah, the 14th or the 15th.
Okay.
So and the good thing we don't have to build the rosters too much because it's literally just
Well, this is my last week of work too for the summer.
Oh, okay.
So so let's put the game on let's just say, should I do Sunday?
Because the Relo Bowl
do Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. Put the Pro Bowl on Sunday.
Okay.
Put the Pro Bowl on Sunday. That gives us time to do the rosters and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got our Pro Bowl rosters, guys. Got our Pro Bowl roster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me going back home, it isn't nothing bad at all. It's a situation. I can't speak about it on
Yeah, I got
here
you.
because somebody might, I don't know if somebody might hear it and
Yeah.
tell
I
something.
got you.
So yeah, it's actually a good occasion. It's a party. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing
Yeah.
bad on my end. Okay, yeah, that's the Pro Bowl rosters. And I guess the next thing, man, that we can get into is
Yep.
the go ahead and put this up, bring this back. It's the Mad News, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this trailer as we're talking about it. But we're gonna dive into the website too to see what they were talking about and everything. But and when we want to get through, but what was your thoughts when you seen this trailer and everything, man?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always I love what EA tries to do when they try to go the extra mile, man. And I'll say with the last couple of games, I've felt these last two games, I felt really good and optimistic about this game and the direction it's going. Um, are there still going to be issues? I know, but I'm not looking at that. I'm kind of just looking at like what they're trying to do, if that makes any sense. I love the realism. Um, the biggest thing, the takeaways that I've loved, is the fact that they've added more of the face stuff. So they know you, and the whole thing with the coach DNA and being able to make your coach, how you want him to look, right? I'm loving the fact that with the attributes for coaches now and all the abilities for coaches and stuff like that. Obviously the traits and the increase in traits on players, like we were talking about that earlier, that'll change the whole game. And also the weather. I know there's like the bigger YouTubers, who are saying, "Oh, we had weather in Madden, whatever," and everything, right? And I get it, but we just got to kind of take what we can get. We play this game a lot differently than people do, so like I was kind of appalled with a couple of takes from who the YouTubers and everything, but I keep forgetting that they play the game. We don't play the game, so I don't know how this game feels to people, right? When they hold it in their hands. I just know that we have a great way of playing the game, right? And this game feels amazing. It sounds amazing, and it seems like we're getting more power in our hands to be able to make adjustments and stuff like that. So I'm not skeptical in the least, man. I'm super excited. I'm excited for the college coaches.
Yeah.
I'm excited the RFL, what that's gonna look like.
Big time.
I'm excited for everybody. The way we play the game, this is absolutely lit, man. And if you're saying it's not, then how can we please you, man? I don't think you can be pleased. You're the angry guy, man, that says you want ketchup on your hamburger and they put ketchup on it and you say it's too much ketchup. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I really do think that let's just dive into the features. I just wanted to play that trailer for you guys. Let's go ahead and pull these features up right now and what they have in the game. And we'll just go through it like most you've seen from YouTubers, but we're just going to also just give our takes on it. So you talked about the coach DNA here, which you can see right here. Is that showing up for everybody? I think our faces got covered. Yeah. So what I can do is I could probably it's gonna be too much. So just you'll hear our voices, but we'll just be in the back. Don't worry about our faces being on there. I'm just gonna talk about little things. But this is important for us. We're just gonna go and dive into what this could bring to the RFL, right? They're talking about one of the big things, okay, wear and tear and the depth chart things. Now I don't think don't get me wrong here, Rob. I don't think that that depth chart thing is going to affect us at all, because we're not going to be able to make those changes mid game or anything like that. So that's something honestly that we wouldn't have to worry about. Now the wear and tear, I'm gonna be honest, I did not really like that system too much in college football, but I heard they got a slider for it. And
yeah,
so
how you can affect how it affects each position basically.
yeah, so that's
And then
pretty
I think it targets I think they said it targets certain body parts based off the hits and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so I guess just going up here, this is more so the wear and tear, substitution seamlessly. We know about that. Highly requested new depth chart. Okay, that's the depth chart thing. We're not really going to get into. And then they were talking about here with the new archetypes, man. You know, finally, not really archetypes, but I know that, they do have different archetype, for example, for this gadget position right here. I know that's a
Yeah.
receiver spot, but they
Oh,
got
that is
different.
a receiver.
Yeah,
Okay.
they got a
That's like, is that like
different
a playmaker?
kind of. It's like a dude who kind of,
Yeah.
I guess, kind of do both. I haven't really heard that term
Yes.
too much, even when I played ball. But I think gadget is more like a guy who can kind of like Debo Samuel, can run the ball too, out of the backfield type deal.
Uh-huh.
He can do everything.
Okay.
But yeah, you got the edge. These are different terminologies now that we're getting. No longer are we going to just have defensive end. We're going to be paying who's on the
Yeah.
edge. Going to be paying the nose tackles. Going to actually have a
Yeah.
long snapper on the team, or whoever you use at that position, like a center or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, the versatile gadget position, like they said right here. It says this upcoming NFL season. Okay, let's talk about the Travis Hunter two-way player. Now, we've talked about this and had this debate already in the
Yeah.
Discord.
RIP.
RIP to the two-way player in the
Two-way
RFL.
players.
Now, could that be possible? It would have to take an absolute miracle for somebody. The only way I can see this happening, and somebody brought this up in the Discord, Rob, is if somebody legit is good enough and playing both sides in college ball,
Well,
that's probably on a team by themselves and literally are the best in the country at both
well,
positions. But I don't see
I
it.
kind of, I mean, I didn't want to like beat a dead horse in the Discord, but did you see Loso's his stats, man?
Yeah, but
His his
He's never
yeah.
played.
I,
That
I just
position.
saw that, and I know there's somebody else too. I thought there was somebody else that I saw that has like decent route abilities and everything. So no, I was just saying,
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. Because I know that the generics might generate some guys, so that's the only way I can see that possibly being a thing. And honestly, I still don't even see that, because if a generic does that, he's not even developed. I don't see a coach or me myself even giving a generic an opportunity to play both sides. Like, that's just not going to happen. So that's dead in my opinion. It's a possibility if we're talking about things that could happen happening, but I don't think it's going to happen. Football weather here. They were talking about the weather. And you said overhaul, let me see, the dual challenges, beating each other on the field, contending with various harsh conditions. We already know about that stuff. It says we have completely overhauled the visuals, but also the effects of weather conditions, heavy snow, fog, rain, and everything in between. The effects, movement, visibility, stamina. Now, this is what we kind of saw in that trailer, man. So what's your thoughts on that? Like, we saw dudes slipping. We saw, the movement looking a little clunky. I like that, man. Like, for if we do have games with rain in it, something that they don't mention in this is that they're saying that there's going to be a slider, which is what we really hope that there is. So that way we can
Yeah.
literally mimic real life when we play the games, what's going on in that city. But if we do have these games based off of what I've seen just from that trailer and everything, man, I think that's pretty dope. Which is your takes on that?
Yeah, I'm okay with the weather, being a thing as long as we can manipulate it, because I'll be honest with you, man, that will get very annoying
Yeah.
if every single rain game, someone is doing that the same animation slide, whatever. So I'm hoping that we can find a delicate balance with that. I mean, like, again, I don't want to be the bad guy here or whatever. I think it's a great system. I'm very happy for the weather. That's actually made me now want to keep the Chicago with the open field, because the snow is a big part of the culture, in Chicago. So which we don't really see that no more. I don't think I've seen a snow game in Chicago in multiple seasons, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really ecstatic about that. But at the same time, I hope that we can control it and it doesn't get out of hand, because I mean, look, we don't want every game, just like we didn't want every game being rain. We don't want every game being snow either, right? Because it's not Alaska, you know what I'm saying? But it does snow, but it needs to be at the right time, the right amount, and it needs to be it needs to make sense,
And
So,
as long as they
but
got that
I'm
slider,
yeah,
man, that we said.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
if they got the slider where
yeah,
literally it's just like, okay, we're playing this game
yeah,
at 8 p.m. in
yeah,
Chicago.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
in real
yeah,
life snowing in
yeah,
Chicago, and we can
yeah,
literally
yeah,
make that game a snow game.
yeah,
Like,
snow game, yeah,
we need to be
yeah,
able to do that, man. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that would be so dope, because now every game will mimic what it should
yeah,
be in real life, you
correct,
know?
correct,
And I just hope that they have that in this game, for us to be able to, have that type of control. Um,
yeah,
and also going with this, I've
hmm
heard that they have, uh, they have abilities kind of tied in. What I mean by this is like
Mhm.
not with the player, but with the team. Or they were talking about the code teams, the teams we play in.
Yeah,
For example,
yeah,
right here.
basically,
Matter
yeah,
of fact, this is
yeah,
it right here. We've
yeah, yeah,
added
yep,
finer details, making the elements a part of the home field where cold
yeah.
weather teams will not get as impacted when playing
And,
in cold or wet as
yeah,
warm weather
weather
teams.
teams, yeah,
It says, but to balance when playing in extreme heat, those
like
cold weather
Orlando,
teams
yeah,
will tire out faster, which is a
yeah,
little detail with a big impact that came straight from the NFL. Now
correct.
that sounds good, but the question for us, I know it's great for everybody else
Mhm.
playing, but is this going to translate to team builder? Like
Yeah,
one big
correct.
question that's coming to my mind right now, Rob, is are they going to upgrade team builder to a point where we're going to have so much where we get to create our own stadiums,
Yeah,
we get to
yeah,
have our
yeah, yeah,
own abilities based off what we do,
yeah.
we get to
Hmm.
create our own coach off the rip, probably even make our own
Yeah.
custom playbook. Like if
Hmm.
that comes to the game, that's a big time game changer.
Or will they
For real.
tie it to cities? Will it just be tied to cities?
Yeah.
Depending on, But the problem is that we have like San Jose, but I don't think that San Jose has an option in the team builder. If I'm not
Uh,
mistaken.
well, it's still California because remember they may not, and the city may not. I don't think they go off the city. They go off the state. So
Oh,
it's
okay,
like
okay.
we
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
have to put okay. This state is this team is
Oh,
from
yeah,
this
the
state.
state. Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe they'll tie the weather to the state, and if they do that, then we're Gucci. You
yeah.
know?
I'm hoping that's what they do. But if they fumble the bag right there with team builder, man, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
just
gonna be
hope most of
crazy. Yeah.
this can translate over to team builder. It's got to, man.
Hmm.
Cannot. I
Hmm.
feel like they're putting everything team builder wise with a heavy
Yeah.
emphasis on college football and not doing it with Madden. And that's a
Yeah.
problem because it's like you just introduced this feature for the first time in Madden. You had create a team in Madden before, but you didn't have team builder,
Hmm.
which you could say it's the same thing, but it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
because create a team did not give you the ability and the access to do the things that team builder in college football allowed you to do back when it
Yeah. Yeah.
was running. And so with it being back now, I don't see how we have anything that is not similar to college football. Like that was a big problem
Yeah.
this year. Madden 25 did not have chrome helmets. They did not allow you to do a lot more. It was almost like a
Hmm.
base version of like before they made the college football and you had bare bones. We couldn't even make the RFL teams in full
Right.
like to have their
Yeah. Yeah.
full actual uniforms that they were supposed to have, and they gave us
I think
5
next year
less
though you're going to be
layers.
able to though. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
hope
I think they
so.
said next year it's going to be opened up because I was watching. I can't remember what I was watching, but it was something. One of these big time YouTubers were saying that now I guess when you can carry the team over to the next season, but now it's
Yeah,
expanded,
I
so
hope
you can
so
add
because
on
they
and
said
yeah,
that though for college football. So I'm
yeah, that's
hoping
right.
that they like please do it for
Gotta be man, it
yeah,
gotta be
please do it for
for
both.
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
see if I could kind of get this also to be altered a bit so that it could be full screen. Yeah, that's pretty much goes there. So that way you guys can kind of see and read along with us. But we're going in here. They're talking about going back to foundational football. You see if anything. They talk about the movement, the explosiveness, and this is a big thing right here. It says explosive locomotion, run and pass blocking, which we know has been a huge problem in Madden for years. Defensive zone coverage, huge problem, especially for us. Physics, is up and down depending on what they do, and new mechanics that are forefront are at the forefront and improvements as we heard your feedback. Let's hope they did hear feedback because if none of this is addressed, that's going to be a problem. I don't want to see offensive linemen missing blocks or just straight letting the guy run through or cross his face. That should not be happening. The defense, because like even this past game that I just called last night, bro, the Snowhawks. I'm not going to say, blame it, or whatever and say that's the reason they lost the game. But honestly, that's one of the reasons why they lost the game. Defense literally let a receiver run straight down the field and score a touchdown.
Yeah,
Like you will never see a busted coverage like that in the NFL or at a pro level.
yeah,
We should not be seeing that in the game. We should not see us not being able to run any cover two because the safety couldn't get on the other side of the field fast enough and they're running the invert. Like that should never happen. There's no reason that, and
yeah.
this has been broken for years in Madden. You guys have to fix this. There should never be broken coverages like that. Does it happen in the NFL from time to time? Yes, but way too often. It should not happen in the game, period, in my opinion. We should never see that. See what we're talking about here. Explosive, the left stick. They're talking about the players being shifty, but of course we're not playing the game. This is pretty good. What do you think about the speed difference? Because they're talking about dudes are really going to be moving if they got that speed.
This is the only one that I I think it's like, I do feel like this is like a fake attribute or whatever. Like they're acting like they're updating this, but I mean, all you do is just the speed threshold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it changes it. So I was feeling like, is it really going to feel like that? You know what I'm saying? Or are they just doing something with the speed threshold to make these guys now I'm kind of worried now because we got these 99 guys out here, right, and everything. So are they not going to be unstoppable?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it? And are you going to have to tweak that down now? You know what I mean?
Like about it though is that they're making a difference between somebody who's just fast and somebody who's explosive.
Yeah.
So I hope that if they're going to do that, I want to see that in the game. I want to see a dude who's shifty and explosive. He may not be a great example. If we had to take our own players, for example, I want to see Dre Shivers, who we know is not fast, but the cutting guys up and looking explosive. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to be a fast dude, but he's going to get you those yards. He's literally was doing that this year, right? But then, like, if we're talking about fast, I want to see Cecil Austin III straight cooking slow corners all day.
So now we got to worry about 2K now because he's obviously fast and a lot of explosion. Like, it's
guys like him are going to be ridiculous.
You know?
And I say guys like him, like there's another one where there's not, but I mean, it's gonna be crazy. They talk about here goes back to those defensive zones we were talking about. He says with custom defensive zones.
I'm hoping that you can do this, man, in the training somehow, bro. I'm hoping this does not have to be an in-game thing. I'm hoping you can do this and set this up and keep it there. I think I did hear the way Rayweather, it was either Rayweather was talking about this. One of them was saying they were talking about it as if like this is something that you'll be able to like set right outside of the game. Yeah. But I don't want to get to lying and everything. But I think that you can in fact do this before you enter the game. So that's going to be absolutely amazing if you can set that.
If they do, boy, that's going to be something. That's going to be fun. Yeah. It says you'll be able to set the okay. We already know about the settings. I can't wait to share. Okay, they're talking about that. Now here goes the stuff about the franchise mode. Talked about the transformation. Now we know now the coach is going to have a ton of customization. This almost gets me to the point. Well, I was thinking about it, but then I said I don't think I should start to develop CPU coach personalities. And the reason why for CPU teams, because I feel like as coaching starts to get bigger in the league, we want to kind of center it around them. And then not to mention, okay, well, now what happens if a CPU coach got this legacy and a guy comes in and he wants to coach that team and he's built up that, personality. So I'm just like, I'm going to just leave that alone. But I'll make the coaches look unique and probably give a little name or anything, but we won't run any stories behind them. But this is great for y'all because now, I mean, how many times we had to have our coaches look the exact same in the game? Like,
Maybe you make, I know we want to get coaches in, but maybe you actually make coaching harder now to where you have to become a coordinator before you're a head coach to prove yourself, and then you allow them to.
You're breaking up.
Allow them to prove that they can be successful or make that head coach better. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I break up?
Yeah, you broke up. Yeah, you broke up, but you're pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, you make them become coordinators first. That way you keep the legacy of the head coach until that coordinator proves that they are whatever. And then, if they, want to, they can move up to head coach. I mean, because I think it would be a good idea to give the teams identities. You know what I mean?
But I feel like the teams already have that. And I wouldn't want a coach to have to waste a year or trying to be a coordinator, especially when you don't have control over the full team, right? Because it's just like, why would I let a guy, like say for instance, for CPU teams, I already have a pretty much an idea of what I want the team to do, right? Which I know is going to put them in a good position to win. I wouldn't want a guy just coming, hey, I want to be the offense coordinator for this, and then to give him, the position, and then he has to kind of go with what I want him to do. Because I wouldn't want him just coming out here and changing it up with something that doesn't make sense. So I kind of almost feel like at that point, let's just let the dude just, I think we just if the dude wants to come here and coach, they coach right away. Now, when it comes to, it's hard to even say that for college football, to be honest. We'll have some stuff. I guess we can kind of go back and forth with that, but mainly because it's the RFL, we just talk about this news. But yeah, more customization for the coaches. First thing first, just talk about how no coaches look alike, which is good.
Oh yeah, I'm happy about that, man. To
Yeah,
make them look, I hope they're it's like exactly what they said. Like you're going to be able to customize the coach to look how you want them to look, which means there's way more faces now. I'm hoping that the size of the coach, hopefully you don't get all these crazy
you there, Rob?
people who just don't look like
Okay.
they should be coaching. If that,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah,
they even had yeah, yeah.
yeah. Hella
I think
females
it,
coaches in the game.
oh yeah, come
I
on,
was
man.
like,
Look,
man, come
look,
on.
I'm all about
PC's tripping out, guys.
waste because I mean, there's no female coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, unless they're like coordinators, but there's no head coach, female coaches, man.
There's everything of people, and so yeah, it's just messed up, man. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
this is something that says coach abilities are also something, right?
yeah,
So I wonder how that's going to work, and it's hard to because like for veteran coaches in the league, I would probably like to have them somehow build up their abilities because they've been in the league long enough or something like that. If it comes to something like that, but the thing is, how do you do that? Will guys literally have to pay money to get those
yeah.
abilities? Like, and so this is really a gray
Mhm.
area that I've really, and this is why I haven't really touched that. Even, when guys asking about the upgrade, the player, the coach route, the coach tree stuff. It's just like, I really can't let somebody, do that because again, it's almost like you got to pay money for that. If you don't got it, and if you're creating your own coach, you know, it just was a lot. So I'm hoping that this is just something like think about it like this, Rob. This is why I talked about the custom thing, right? Imagine if they allow us to set you guys as coaches with abilities already through Teambuilder. Like that solves
Yeah,
everything. So I
yeah,
hope
yeah,
they let
yeah,
us do that because I could be like, okay, you've been here long enough. Okay, what are the tiers to the abilities? How long have you been here? How many abilities could someone of your tenure be able to have based off of what you've done? And
yeah,
then we can figure that out
yeah.
as I talk with the coaches one on one.
Mhm.
I want to be able
Um,
to do that.
I mentioned to Pecan, man. Do you think that we could do the same thing that he's going to do with the college as like setting up the seasons
Well,
the exact same way?
I don't think we can because this is the big thing. Okay, big news right here for coaches. I was talking with Forbes. I think that the NFL cap salary is going up to 280. So now we'll go from 270 to 280, right? The good thing is we're going with the NFL. So if the first year in a franchise, we're going to have the right a salary cap. The only issue that comes with trying to do something like that is that the rosters. I feel that if they allow the rosters to be transferable and we can just easily bring back the team we built off of Team Builder, we need to build the teams on Team Builder. So if that happens,
Mhm.
we can't sim any years past that because they're already going to be what they're
Oh yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
be within that first year,
Got you.
and the salary cap's already set. You know what I mean? So
I
it's
got
like
you.
that's
I
the
got you.
perfect idea thing, which is why I hope that they allow the
Uh,
coaches.
so
Um,
the other problem though, bro, with this well, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, it don't matter for premier games, but
mm,
when you build the team on Team Builder,
yeah.
there's a issue with the audio of the name. Like, so it won't say Hodge, it'll say Lincoln in the game when you build the player on Team Builder.
Well, I think that's
You
something they'll
know,
probably work out. If not, I mean,
I
it's
hope so,
premier
because
games,
imagine
so
building
it's
all those players, bro, and then the premier games they calling the guy and Jackson and his,
yeah. I
you
think
know what I mean?
didn't
Like
they
they're calling
fix
them.
that though? I thought they fixed that
I
this
hope they
year.
did. Maybe I have an earlier build of my Cougars band, but that's like so annoying.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they said they fixed that. If I think it's going to be good by next year. I don't think they'll be doing that anymore because that was like one of the big complaints that I think they fixed kind of early on, like at the end of last year. They probably got a few
Okay.
things that's happening, but yeah, if it's an early build, maybe that's why that's happening. Um, but yeah, they got this thing. Okay, it was something about what the trying to see what for training, man. Remember they were talking about coach sheets or something, play sheets.
Oh, it's right below the next paragraph. Play
Uh,
sheets. Yeah, play
yeah,
sheets.
play
So you
sheets.
can add plays. You can add plays to your game plan now. Yeah.
Yep, allowing you to add extra plays. Now, I'm curious to see what this looks like in the game, right?
I hope you can take plays out because I know
Yeah,
exactly what I want to take out.
because if they literally have it where you can set
Yeah.
literally like how you create a
Yeah.
book and customs in the
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
that'd be dope, man.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
what I don't get is add extra plays. Like,
Yeah.
what does
So
that
I
mean?
feel like that's gonna be where like with your focus, right? Because you know how you focus on certain things like the 15 first downs and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now when you do the training, you'll have these extra plays that you want to target in on in your game plan, basically, right? So they'll probably have it to where you can choose, oh, you want this and this and this or whatever, and you want them to run this at some point, and maybe you get like certain boosts if you run those plays and are successful with them or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I hope this turns out kind of like something similar to that I can really look at and be like, yo,
But
we
it's what
got
you see
more
the last line.
details.
It depends on how you level up your coach, right? So
Yeah.
let's just say like your coach is killing it in the vertical pass, right, or whatever. You're getting 400 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
Then I bet you that you can add all various types of vertical passes,
Mm-hmm.
which give your players a boost in that situation if your coach has that. You see?
Okay.
So that's what it's sounding like. But I hope you could take stuff off, bro. That'll be amazing if you could take stuff out.
Yeah. That would be dope, man. I just hope
Yeah.
it's exactly like the custom playbooks and you have like a
Yeah.
set amount that your team focuses on running in that game and you could
Yeah.
legit just choose that. Like that would be dope.
Yeah, Hodge.
More of a wear
I'll take off
tear.
every single screen pass until I get my line together. I would never run that because I don't think we've ever been
Mm.
successful in game or outside of game.
Now,
Actually, there was one game this season that we were running the screen very effectively. I don't know how, but
yeah, this
yeah,
right here was big news for the league right here. The franchise comes alive with enhanced presentation, including halftime shows and weekly recaps
yeah,
with Guy Hansen and all new custom broadcast packages for Sunday, Monday, and Thursday primetime games. Now, the good thing about this that I really like is, okay, how good are these halftime shows going to be? But the way they're talking, I'm kind of feeling like it's going to be like showing highlights. And I think
hmm
that if it's showing highlights, you know how you finish a game, which we all do, and maybe
yeah,
you can save a play. I think it allows you to
yeah,
save plays after your game is
mm,
finished, and then like say if the next game comes up, it'll have that play saved to where it shows on the halftime show. That would be dope
I
because
see.
I don't
Yeah,
see how they would take it straight from somebody's game that they
yeah,
recorded and know exactly what happened because
yeah.
like that would have to be stored somewhere, you know.
Hmm.
So that's how I feel like that's going to go.
Hopefully, they don't remove highlights out the game.
Yeah, and I hope that
Jeez.
this presentation for
Yeah,
we that we get to actually choose the type of outros that we have for team builder teams because I feel like it's going to be
yeah,
generic to be honest first time around. But if they can make it
yeah.
where, let's say for instance, we want to come in like the Vikings or whatever and have our own custom
Mm-hmm,
stuff. If we could do that, that would be dope. You know, like I feel like
mm-hmm,
that's the next level of sports gaming with Madden. If they can
hmm.
get there, I don't see how that's not possible. Maybe not possible within the first year, but I'm saying that's definitely something along the lines that they got to work on as they give us more
Yeah, yeah.
customization with team builders and even creating our own stadiums and stuff. I haven't heard anything about the team builder yet, but I heard they're going to have a team builder
Hmm.
little section, so we'll see when that news comes out. But yeah, this is just mainly more on presentation, talking about the NFL stuff. Superstar, we don't care about. Definitely don't care about Ultimate Team, and of course, it's the pre-order stuff, and that's mainly it for the Madden news. That's kind of coming. Is there anything in here? Because I know they got some other article stuff. Anything that we probably didn't go over that you wanted to get into?
No, this DNA thing though, I'm just kind of excited about what that is going to look like. The new
Oh yeah, we
quarterback
didn't even talk about
animations,
this. The 50 new traits and stuff.
yeah, the traits, yeah, yeah. So all of that is gonna be crazy. I saw in the trailer the guy was well Rayweather was thinking that but what was that for college? That might have been for college, but I think he was saying that maybe it would carry over to the pro game. with where like if the quarterback's has the wear and tear and his shoulder is injured, then you'll start to see like animations of him looking like his shoulder is injured
Oh,
or
that'd be
or
fire.
something's going on with him. Yeah, yeah. Because they you can see it in the college in one of the clips. I think it's a quarterback from Texas or something like that. He's like he's doing something with his arm, like
wincing?
rotating it to like yeah. So they think that that's going to be one of those things where that you'll see those animations on the players as well. But that traits thing, now they don't have. I don't think they have that in the college yet. But the 50 new player traits, there, bro.
That's huge, bro.
Ooh-wee.
If we get that level of customization,
Yeah,
now that's going to
yeah,
be very tedious. Like we're going to have to really work on these rosters as soon as that game
yeah,
drops because
yeah,
50 for
yeah,
each player extra.
yeah,
We're gonna have to
yeah.
like
And
I'll
we,
have to go based off of how the player played, to be honest.
yeah, and we can't show the one that we got from our boy in the mod lounge. We're not even gonna say his name, but there's a clip we got, guys, a picture that we have of that somebody leaked, uh, and it shows like you can
You cut out.
of
Oh, say it again, Rob. Yeah, cut out.
throwing and running and stuff like that, and how players you can manipulate the style of like
Hey,
the
Rob.
throwing, running, how the feet are set. Yeah, yeah.
Say it over again because you had cut out.
Oh. So we got a picture, an image that was leaked that says that you can manipulate. It shows sliders for manipulating the style of like throwing, running, foot position, how they hold the football, all type of stuff. You can do it. So that's going to be kind of crazy too to be able to make them look. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't just like quarterbacks; it was like wide receivers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be crazy. So like obviously you're a wide receiver, so you know that if you got like a guy who's dumb fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how his foot is set, right? That might give him even more of a advantage, right, off the release and stuff like that. If you can, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, and
See
with
all
little
that.
things like that,
Animation.
with users, I would allow the users that's in the league already to be able to choose what
Yeah,
they like. You know,
yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
now if it's something that has a crazy advantage though, and everyone's just choosing that, that's gonna get corny. So
Mm-hmm.
I might have to step in on something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, like that, like he was saying, we seen wide receiver stances you could choose, quarterback posture, the way you're at the huddle and all that, like you pretty much everything. So and that was a
Yeah,
college football game, but I
yeah,
think
yeah,
like if they're talking about 50 traits, those definitely look like traits in my opinion from the
yeah,
college. So if they're talking
yeah.
50 in Madden, then yeah, we got more than
Yeah,
that
that's
because that
crazy.
was like what 10, like 10 in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
So now reloads just became even more important now.
way more important. I
You
might
know,
not
because now you could
shoot.
use reloads.
I might even have
Yeah,
it where y'all don't get to choose unless y'all pay for it. That's more incentives.
yeah.
If
Oh,
they got the
you mean the
same,
actual pay for it,
yeah.
right?
Because I was
Yeah,
gonna say, because if they got the same animation for what they already have, I might just keep them at that. But they have to pay for they have
yeah.
to use reloads in order to
Or you
change it.
or you can have the package. You can have packages. For, you know what I mean, for the traits. So I mean, you can have them
Oh yeah,
individually,
yeah, with
whatever. But if you want to have this style, this package, right,
mm,
based off of, but obviously based off the performance in college, right,
mm-hmm.
then they could purchase that package of traits.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or you
yeah,
probably have to be like, okay, if this is the best throwing style or something like this, and you don't have it,
correct,
you have to have
correct.
meet certain thresholds, like how we got
Yeah,
traits
yeah,
right
yeah,
now, in order to be able to
correct,
even buy it. So yeah,
correct.
that would be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's traits and styles, Hodge. So they have like 50 new traits, but they also have styles now, where like I'm trying to put it as best I can. So what I basically saw in this leak screenshot was like it was a literally a style of how the person holds their hand on around the football, like a
Kind of broke up.
quarterback, right? There's like a slider for that high, holding it mid chest, holding it low, one handing it or whatever. Like we don't know what it's going to be, but there's definitely styles of
And
the way the player appears, either a
and what
quarterback, a wide receiver, the way they have their feet
Yeah,
set. Yeah.
and what he's talking about is just styles alone. Because I mean, look at this sentence right here. Does your quarterback in real life throw more often to the right side of the field?
Oh, that's the other one. Yeah.
That's something right
Yeah.
there letting me
Tendencies.
know
Yeah.
like those tendencies is crazy because now it
Yeah.
really narrows down what your quarterback is good at, and
Yeah.
and also is not just quarterback because it says 50 new player traits across numerous positions. So those
Yeah.
traits might even be different depending on what position it is that's in the editing menu.
Yeah.
So that's
Wait,
crazy.
isn't Hodge a mod? Hodge, look at the moderator lounge. Look at don't say the name, but look at what the image that was posted. It's in the moderator lounge. But
Yeah.
you'll see what I'm talking about.
You could really tailor it looks like you're really going to be able to tailor your guy to
Yeah.
be
Right.
specific on what they're good at and what they do,
Right.
which is just going
Yeah.
to add so much more. uh I think differentiality is that
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
word? Yeah.
No differentiation.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know about that one. So
Or differentiate. Yeah.
yeah, definitely gonna be able to differentiate player
Yeah.
to player, like in the same position type deal. So I mean, that's great. I'm just
This is
imagining when
this
you go
is
against the
just like
quarterbacks.
it's honestly it's like the basketball because they have it like where you can edit the sliders for like how this guy lands when he shoot or how he jumps, how this jump shot is, all this other stuff, bro. Like it have all that. So that's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, we're gonna jump like Saquon, man. Anyway, that that's all we got right here for the game notes, man. I guess yeah, we'll just go ahead and put this up. I know we're gonna talk about college football too at first for a little bit, but it's kind of the same news that we've been hearing, man. So nothing really too much to say about that. We'll be looking at that very soon because when the game drops, we're gonna start working and trying to get the college series set up. I do have, as you saw from the thumbnail, talking about new coaches coming. I'm not going to announce who they are right now, but this week you're going to start to see that stuff come out. I've got, new RFL coach. Definitely a lot of college series coaches, which you guys mainly know most of them if you've been in the Discord. But there will be, posts out about those guys who will be coaching what organization, what program, stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. We're gonna leave it now open for questions. And if you guys got any questions you want us to, answer right here on the spot, feel free to ask. And I think the first one right here says, "Hodge says need to know how college series going to go with players picking their players same as like yeah, it's going to be the same exact as last year. So first come first come first serve on the stream. If you get here and you're looking for a player, let's say for example on Alabama or whatever, and you got a 90 receiver, you paid for a 90 rating and they got a 90 receiver, you can have it. If not, you got to go elsewhere. The same exact thing as last year.
Bulldogs. No.
It's a
Wait,
tie between the Bulldogs and the Red
Bulldogs and
Dragons.
Toronto Red Dragons. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Could be CT in that mix now too if they do beat the Condors.
Wait. Explorers have
They got
one.
one. Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yep, one with Bill.
And the Birds only have one too. But the Birds
T-Birds,
have the
yep.
most appearances. Yeah.
Let me see. The T-Birds went to the Relo Bowl in season 3, won it. They went in season 4. They actually tied with the Celtic Tigers for the most appearances.
Yeah.
Because now the Celtic Tigers made it. Yeah.
No, I don't think you can change the schemes as a college coach. I think he wants to keep it whatever the team basically runs. You just have to work around it.
No schemes can change. You got to run with what that team in real life does. You will be able to alter your playbook depending on what schemes they got by choosing a playbook of a team that runs the same scheme that's different from yours.
Look, man, they've got formation subs in there. Go to town.
Yeah, definitely play around with that. But you have to still run with those books. I want to give more freedom in a sense.
You know how deep the rosters are?
Pros. Yeah. The pros I'm giving more freedom in a sense because I mean honestly they'll have more with their training and stuff like that. There needs to be a difference between college coaching and pro coaching, and on top of that, I don't want to mess up the identity of these actual college programs. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to see like nobody wants to come in and see like Miami running a wing T type deal. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to make sure they're running what they're supposed to be running. on all sides of the ball. remove plays if it's possible. If they have it where it's possible to do kind of like how we hope in Madden, where you can go to the play and remove and be specific on the situation, then I'll allow college coaches to be able to do that. I think we might. Will the generics be the same or new? So they will. It'll be either or. So like, say for instance, for you, CP, you're gonna get the new roster when we advance in the future to where the season's supposed to be, and you have access to the college 25. So that way, whoever you want to bring over from last year's roster, you would have to create. But if you don't, then that means that whoever's there at the time, that's who you got to go with. So, and I'll get more in detail about how that works when the game comes out.
But that's probably only sophomores and juniors, though, basically.
Yeah, if it's a senior or somebody who's supposed to graduate from last year and stuff, and not to mention,
you can't bring seniors over.
Yeah, we kind of had some real life guys too. You can't bring over real life guys. We won't have any more real life guys after this season, but yeah.
Yeah. And wait a second, freshman too, right? You can't carry a freshman over as a freshman. It's got to be a sophomore.
Yeah, you can carry the guys over, but yeah, the class has to be different. It has to be freshman, senior, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So if we can edit players right away in CFB26, if a guy sees a 90 overall, but he's not at that school it's the school he wants, does he have to stay at that school? Yes, it's the exact same. You have to do exactly like how Keyshawn Covington did. He didn't have the 90 overall receiver he wanted at LSU. He decided to take the one at Tennessee, but he has to play at Tennessee for a year because that team is not supposed to.
For a year.
Mm-hmm. Got to play there for a year, and then after you play there for a year, you can transfer out.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, I was about to say, man, you guys gonna go to some team with 90 and then transfer.
You can't just stick, because that's like stealing a 90. You know what I mean? Like taking a 90 overall from a team just to go over here to a team that's already stacked. So you have to, pay the consequence.
He said you should let the new submits pick their players before bringing the old guys back so they have more 90 overall options.
Well, nah, because what happens is the new guys have to take over whoever's starting, right? So that way, based off of whatever is there, that's what they have to pick. So the old guys have to be made first, because we don't want the new guys already in positions with higher overalls when they really shouldn't have that. That's almost like the same thing as taking a 90 overall player and just putting them on, because say for instance, if you had a 90 overall receiver, right, but you made the 90 overall, you took one of the rookies or the new coming guys and built them over your starting receiver on that team that was a 90 overall. Now you got two 90 overall players. One of them you shouldn't even have. So that's why we don't do that. Can I bring that over generic over and build a user over them? No. So if you're going to bring a generic over, that generic has to stay as is. You can only build a new guy over a generic that's already there. So you can't just bring back a dude who was like an 85 and be like, okay, I think we talked about this before, but now like listening to it, and I don't think then I understood what you meant. So you can't just take a generic dude and just boom, build him over there. If you're going to bring a guy over, that guy has to stay over there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. That way it's not also like another advantage of ratings. Is it a limit on how many generics can I bring? No. So if you got if you want to bring your entire team back from last year, you can do that, but you have to literally build all those players yourself. So, it's all about, I know you would probably build them, CP, but I'm just saying, like, if you wanted all those dudes back, you can do that. But you have to build your first players have to be built off of who has to come back next year. So all the generic players that I'm gonna give you a list of that has to come back that you have to build, and all the user players that's coming back, and all the user players that's coming back, you have to build. And then when the stream happens, whatever is there, that's what the community will take. So in a sense, before that stream happens, you have to build the generics you want back. But remember, they can't be built over. So if you build that generic, then you know what I mean, he's going to be there, but he cannot be taken over by a user. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend building an entire team then. Yeah. Because what's going to happen is you'll have a second time to do it. So the first time you want to build the generics you really want back on your squad, right? After you do that, the guys who just coming in, they're going to choose who their players are. Then whatever's left off of there, you see some other generics from last year's team you want to bring back that's available, you can do that. And then that's when you remake them. So you have a double dip kind of thing. All right, looks like we're about. He said we in VC after this. Yeah, I can hop in. Honestly, he says, so do old players get the off-season progression from advancing to the new season? I don't think I'm going to do that because that's where the emphasis of reload bucks come in. So I want dudes to use their reloads. If you didn't grind, you're not going to get an upgrade. So that's how it's gotta go. So it's like almost like you want to get better. Yeah, you gotta grind for it, man. Just like you do in the RFL. At the very most, I'm gonna go ahead till it's till 10:45, which is just 3 minutes. If I don't see any questions earlier than that, I'll just shut it down. Anything you got right now,
Did
Rob?
we ever
Okay. Oh yeah, cut out.
did did we ever mention the can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you
me?
now.
Did we ever mention that they took the best animations from college and Madden and put them together for 26?
No. Now was that about the movement though?
Yeah, the locomotion. So
Yeah.
they basically yeah, they said we believe the NFL is the home of the fastest, most explosive players on the planet. So they have um, special build different locomotion. Um, yeah, so they said Madden 26 doesn't precisely port over 25's college 25's exact locomotion, but instead it features a merging of the best tuning sets from both Madden and college football 25 locomotion systems, basically.
Sounds good. Sounds
So he
great.
says, okay, this feels fast and play another game and go. Uh, so
It says, where do we find stats from CS7? Unfortunately, I only got access to it on PlayStation because there is no what's it called, like DL or Neon Sports for college football. So I can't give you guys the access to that. There's no way to do it unless I got to take a picture of every college team stuff, which honestly I do not have the time for. So it's like kind of you got to figure out who has access of that in the Discord and ask them because it's all saved on the CS7 file, but we just don't have any way to get that to you because they haven't integrated that in with the game yet. Hopefully they do that with college football 26. Like I hope Neon Sports or Daddy League can have something where you can literally see everything like you do with Madden, but it has yet to be seen. And we're down to our final minute. I'll answer one
Smitty,
more question.
if if you if you're thinking about maybe letting players buy trait packages, would the same thing be extended to coaches to buy trait packages?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because now that I got reloads for y'all to gain, y'all can earn them that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I mean when you said buy, do you actually mean real money buy or do you mean
No, I
reload
meant
buy?
reloads. Like it'll be
Oh,
reloads.
okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were gonna let them purchase traits for actual cash.
Oh no, no. Because I just don't.
Okay,
That to me is pay to win. So it's just like,
pay to win.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
like you still, in a sense, if you give a little bit of money to earn your reload bucks from the Patreon thing, that's okay. Because I
Mhm.
know that even if you doing that doesn't guarantee you're gonna get everything you want, and you have to literally grind and earn that. Uh,
So
and
would you add that? Would you manipulate that though? Like because they're paying Patreon, that they, maybe a trait or something like that
nah, they
to
would
be added
have
to that
to.
package?
The reason I wouldn't do that is because you're already what you're paying for is going to add to the reloads you're
Hmm.
getting. So
Got you.
for the coaches, y'all would have to earn those straight up off of performance. So like when y'all earn y'all reload bucks, or honestly y'all earn them anyway extra from doing
Hmm.
podcasts or whatever it is. So like when you do the extra and that adds up and you got enough to pay for a trade,
Hmm.
then you can get it. But then also like I'll probably have to look at what will have to come, because I don't like having a trait where you can just outright buy. You have to meet certain criteria to get that trait.
Yeah, of
You know what I'm
course. Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
like if you meet that, then
Hmm.
it's just like, okay, you got the reloads, we can make it happen. But yeah, I don't see any
Gotcha.
other questions in here. I'm going to be in the RFL Discord after this, guys. So if you got any more questions,
All
just
right.
want to hop in there and chat, go ahead and do that with me. But that is it for this podcast, man. The Relo Bowl is set. The Condors and the Celtic Tigers will be going at it. But that's in 2 weeks from now, pretty much. And Rob Roby and I will be working on the Pro Bowl, which will be on Sunday. Time will be announced, when we get closer. But Pro Bowl coming, guys. Just 2 more games and RFL Season 9 comes to a close. Man, it's been a journey. But that's it for me. It's your boy Smitty, RFL Commissioner and play-by-play commentator, along with Rob Roby, a.k.a. Mix. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.